All right, everybody. Last game for tonight. Continuing on with some more Ace Attorney Miles Edgeworth. So, just got through playing a decent amount of games. Try to get some stuff up tomorrow on my YouTube channel, and maybe I can pop in for some Overwatch because I haven't gotten back into that in a minute. Anyway, let's continue on forward with the investigation. So this is the in-flight shop. It's quite a mess in here. You think? Guess I'll have to clean things up then, teehee. Hold on! You can't clean up a potential crime scene. Oh, thank goodness. I hate cleaning so much. I mustn't rush things here. I must remain calm. I must remain cool, calm, and collected. Because this piggy bank was left at the crime scene. There's a very good chance that the killer had paid this place a visit. Right, 1 second, guys. What are these? Oh, those are our company's completely original line of suitcases. They're practically flying out of the door. That's how popular they are. You should buy one and see how you like it. You won't regret it. Perhaps that's how things work on this flight, but in the real world, you try then buy. No way. But either way, it doesn't really matter. True. Either way, why would anyone buy a suitcase after they boarded the plane? Anyway, see that? Just look at all the Captain Ugo's heads painted on there. Cute company mascot, isn't he? They're painted on with a lot of care. Doesn't he look like he's about to jump out at you? It is certainly making something jump inside my stomach. Huh? Oh, I guess there's no fooling your refined taste. You look like you really wanted to get one. And I thought I was going to finally make my first sale, but you saw right through it. Glad that's done though. Never make me try to give you a sales pitch ever again, okay? I never showed any interest in it to begin with. Teehee. It really is pretty horrible, isn't it? You want to know something? This suitcase was designed by Miss Rhonda. Miss Tenryu designed this? Yeah, it was a company-wide contest. Well, it does have a very sharp design sense. Haha, sharp. Like stinky sharp cheddar, maybe. I really have no idea why the bigwigs decided to go with it. It's so blah. Miss Tenryu designed this, did she? It's definitely not what I would have expected. You okay? I'm fine. Please watch yourself, Miss Muriel. Miss Meal. Letting a suitcase freely roll around has got to be a safety violation. Here, I pulled it back. Inside this display case is a row of lifesavers and life vests for sale. We sell a lot of those when there's some kind of accident or something. But some people buy them even when nothing's going on. How about it, Mr. Edgeworth? Care to buy one? I sense that this shop is one shopper away from being sued. There are all kinds of luxury name brand merchandise for sale in this display case. And they're lined up in just such a manner as to scream, "Buy me!" to any passerbys. Stuffed toys, just like the one Miss Meal is holding, are on display here. They're relatively cheap, which explains why they're displayed so haphazardly. How about it, Mr. Edgeworth? You know you want one too. They're great for when you're stressed. Why do I envision stuffed animal abuse when she says that? The glass from this display case door is shattered all over the floor. And it looks like there's nothing on display inside either. Wait. Actually, I think there is something. What's this? A mini captain's hat. There's a wide selection of souvenirs for sale in these display cases. You know what I suggest? Sorry, but I have no intention of buying souvenirs on this trip. Okay, then how about you buy something from me then, as a present? I can't think of a single reason why I want to buy you anything. Well, I got something for this. But I had my eye on that pendant for such a long time. Try paying some attention to me when I ask you something and then we'll talk. Beautiful flowers in a beautiful arrangement. Feel cleansed just by looking at them. Well, you're kind of stepping on a few of them, you know, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, excuse me. That probably used to be on the piggy bank's head. Let's give it a go and see. I believe this piggy bank was forcefully removed from this display case. Does this mean that the killer broke the glass to get at it? Really? Don't tell me you don't know what things go where is in the shop. Well, I don't. Miss Rhoda's in charge of this place. So come on, how should I know anything? I sense that further inspection of this display case is needed. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. There's definitely something very unusual about this. About what? If the killer had broken the glass to get at the Captain Ugo bank, there should be shards of glass inside the case itself. Ooh, I see. Yeah, I guess it'd be like that. However, there's not a single piece of glass inside the display case. Nope. No, nope. No, there isn't. Must have broken out when like there was like a turbulence going on and it just fell right out, because no way anybody can just get inside and break into it without shards going inside. The piggy bank must have fallen over from the turbulence and right through the glass. Yeah, that's for sure. There's so much glass all over the floor. I wanted to bet that this hat was knocked off his head at that time too. That's nice. Which leads me to believe that the killer took the Captain Ugo bank from here after the turbulence. Take your power naps on your own time, Miss Mio, and listen when I'm talking. What? But the murder occurred before the turbulence, which rules this piggy bank out as the murder weapon. So you mean the bank's not the real murder weapon? It's a fake? Yes, at this point, that's a very real possibility. But then what if when the killer went to take Captain Ugo, they broke the glass by accident? The display case is locked, so that's highly unlikely. Yeah, but there's one person who could have. Oh, who would that be? Miss Rhoda, of course. I mean, she's the one in charge of this place, so she has the keys to everything. Miss Rhoda Tenryu, huh? Yes, there is definitely something wrong here. What's with the sudden yelling? Tell me, Miss Mill, don't you think there's something strange about these suitcases? Oh, well, sure. They totally ooze strange. Like the color and the such. That's not what I'm talking about. Now pay attention. Ah, you're scaring me, Mr. Edgeworth. Sorry. Ahem. These suitcases are lined up a bit too prim and proper. Yeah, they look a little bit uptight, don't you think? Yeah, they look a bit uptight, don't they? But I guess they take after their creator, hehe. It's like she's constantly throwing shade. Again, that's not what I meant, Miss Meal. Don't you find it unusual that these cases are the only things undisturbed by the turbulence? Never mind. I'd sooner find an answer by inspecting these suitcases myself. Upon closer inspection, they really are quite hideous. Teehee. I wonder how Miss Ruda would have reacted if she heard what you just said. What's wrong? He makes a good point. It would be wise of me to watch what I say out loud. What's this? I spotted something that's not quite right.
Take that!
This is what is outside. Oh, well, it's either one or the other.
Take that!
There's something very peculiar about these wheels. Huh? As in, there are no stoppers in place on these. Without stoppers, one would think that the turbulence would have sent it flying. And so it's very likely that these suitcases was placed here after we hit that turbulence. Let's take a closer look at it. Shall we? piece of cloth. And it's soaked with blood. Ah, it's blood? It appears that this suitcase is very strongly tied to our murder after all. Well, explain this to me. What does this suitcase have to do with the murder? I believe it's pretty safe to say that the killer used this suitcase in some matter, such as to move something perhaps. But aren't you just talking about the cloth then? That alone is too small. A larger item would be needed to move what I'm thinking of. There's gotta be the body. Take that! Something that would fit inside a suitcase that is also covered in blood. Sounds like a dead body, doesn't it? But in light of this, I say that Mr. Hicks was moved into the elevator from someplace else, which means that the murder was committed in an entirely different location. So you're saying that after moving the body into the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase in here and just left it? Exactly. What is it? Nothing, just that I was thinking about what Miss Ruda said about coming here for something. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth? I wanted to give you a bit more time, but I'm afraid I wasn't able to convince the captain. I'm very sorry, Mr. Edgeworth, but the captain feels that he has allowed you ample time. He says that he'd appreciate it if you could wrap it up here and return to your seat. I understand his sentiments. However, if I'm not allowed to complete my investigation, the crime scene may become contaminated by the time we land. If I must stop, then I insist I be allowed to oversee the preservation of these two sites. Under your supervision, of course. If that's your only condition, then I believe we can accommodate your wishes. I'm here to assist you in any way that I can, Mr. Edgeworth. Sounds like fun. We camp out and watch over everything together. I found proof that the real crime scene was not in the lounge. I have enough evidence to prove myself to be innocent of any wrongdoing. Yet, regarding what Miss Meal reminded me about Miss Tenryu, I can't allow my investigation to end here. The truth must come to light. I know that once we had landed, I'm supposed to let the local police take over. And thanks to Miss Tenryu and Miss Meal, I was able to preserve the crime scene. But I just can't shake it. I wasn't able to talk with Miss Tenryu in private. So I'm left wondering just what was she up to? Why did she do what she did? There must be a way for me to continue my investigation. I've been expecting you, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Franziska, I thought you were still in Germany. I go where I am needed. And wherever there are criminals to be caught. Her name is Franziska von Karma, the daughter of my mentor, Manfred von Karma. She, like myself, is a prosecutor. Are you heading up this case? It will be a bit of a relief if you are. Don't you try to flatter me, Miles Edgeworth. I'm placing you under arrest. What? It's quite frustrating, actually. I hope to exact my revenge on you in a different venue, but I have to take what I can get. I never thought I'd see the day when a disciple of the House of Unkarma would become a criminal. Have you no shame? Wait, it has all been a big misunderstanding. I didn't kill the victim. A misunderstanding. I heard all about the murder over the police radio from the captain himself. He waited for the victim on the first floor and then beat him to death. Francisca, do you honestly believe that I killed a man? I suppose I should reserve judgment until after I have investigated this myself. I can put your arrest on hold until then. That's as it should be. Ha! I don't need a lecture on how to perform my duties from you of all people. To be perfect in every way, the fulfillment of that creed alone is all I strive for. Well, I have my own creed which I must fulfill, so why don't we solve this together? I have to get going. The crime scene awaits. Don't you dare leave town. Trust me, I had no intention to. Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir. Too slow. Listen up. I'm leaving you in charge of watching this man. Don't mess up, understand? Mr. Edgeworth, I'm supposed to guard him? A simple yes or no, detective. Yes, sir. Understood, sir. You just leave it to me. Miles Edgeworth, if you interfere with my investigation, I'll arrest you on the spot. Are we clear? Now then, if you'd excuse me. Good to see you again, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Boy, am I glad to see you're okay. Thank you, detective. I believe in you, sir. You can lean on me. I'll get you through this. I have to admit, I'm a bit curious as to what Francisca is up to. Maybe I should ask the good detective. Very well. In that case, I have a few questions for you. So how is the initial investigation going? We just shipped the body off to the coroner's office. We're taking statements now, sir. That sounds like Francisca. She was always good at quick responses to a case. I'd say she was a little too quick, sir. Oh, how so? I rushed on over as soon as I got word of the affair, sir. But somehow when I got here, Miss Von Karma was already here barking out orders at everyone. It was kind of creepy, as though she knew that there had been a murder or something, and had come in advance to await your flight's arrival. That is sort of odd. She did show up rather quickly and out of the blue. Plus, I still don't know why she's here in America. There must be some backstory to all of this. Miss Von Karma just kind of popped up at the prosecutor's office about a week ago, sir. Something about chasing down leads related to a certain incident. No details? It's kind of top secret, so she can't talk about it even with me, sir. Knowing her, the only type of talking she likes to do is with her whip. Plus, I doubt the top secret part was what stopped her from talking to you, detective. Although I wonder if her case has anything to do with mine. Anyway, that's about all the info I have, sir. We should find out more as we investigate. Yes, it is high time to resume my investigation. Starting with talking to people involved in this case afresh. Looking at this like airline thing, this makes me really want to, because next year I really want to go to Japan for like a week. It's like my bucket list place to go, but it's like I need to get like a. I'm vying for this new job that pays pretty well, and hopefully by possibly maybe the end of next summer I should have what I need to spend some time there. In Soviet Russia, world flags lunchboxes eat you. So that's the captain. So you must be the captain. Why, yes, I am. And who might you be? I am the prodigy prosecutor Francesca von Karma, and I have a few questions for you. Don't you dare, Captain, getting friendly with another woman. I'll never forgive you if you do. What are you talking about? I only have... What are you talking about? I only have eyes for you, my dear Cammy. I would have bet money on our dear captain to be much of a reputable person. Sure you don't want to ask the captain some questions, sir? He was in the cockpit the entire time. I highly doubt he would know anything of use. Anyway, I'd like to leave that type of witness to Francesca and her whip. Now see here. How long do you intend to hold me? It is impossible for me to beat the criminal, I told you. Mr. LeBlanc. Oh, it is you. Tell this man to stop stopping me from going. Time is money. I don't have even 1 second of wasteful time to spend. I'm Miles Edgeworth. I am one of the prosecutors on this case, and so please let me through. I'm very sorry, sir. No one is allowed to enter without Ms. Von Karma's express permission. But I'm on the case. Yes, I understand that, but I also have explicit instructions to not to let you through this from Miss Von Karma. Why would you do this to me, Francesca? I do not concern if you are not done examining the cargo hold. I want my cargo back. If you make a single scratch of my art, you will pay. Art? What sort of art? Mr. LeBlanc is an art dealer, so he's got a bunch of artwork down in the cargo hold, sir. There's practically a mountain of them, large and small. From folk costumes to stone statues, I sell all kinds of art. Folk costumes? Speaking of which, Mr. LeBlanc's hat is it kind of looks like the other piece of cloth. Mr. LeBlanc, can you please take a look at this for me? Oh, it's a Beringian cloth. As I suspected, your hat is made of the same material, I suppose. Yes, of course. This fabric is so famous, orders come from all overseas for more. And this is the cargo you were talking about earlier. No. My cargo this time is many gigantic. You detective, when can I have my cargo moved? You can get your cargo back when we're done investigating, pal. The stubbornness of you police is not good. It is no good that attendant refuses to exit the attendant's room too. That attendant. I wonder if he's talking about Miss Tenryu. What did you mean by that attendant, Mr. LeBlanc? She was taken into the attendant's room for her interview, and then they still have not come out. They make no sign of coming out either. I was finished with my own interview much earlier, quicker than her. Why is Miss Tenryu's interview the only one that's taking up so much time? Miles Edgeworth, you were given free rein to examine the plane, weren't you? Yes, I was able to obtain the cooperation of the flight attendants. Speaking of attendants, I'd like to speak with Miss Tenryu. I wonder if you might grant me permission to enter the flight attendant's room. But before I do, you still have to clear up a few issues surrounding your own circumstances. I understand. You may have tricked those attendants with your sophisticated talking. But you can't pull the wool over my eyes, Miles Edgeworth. Let's not complicate things and go with the most obvious conclusion. The scene of the crime was here, in the very lounge the body was discovered. Nine. From the time the victim was seen calling for an attendant until his body was found. The only person in this lounge the entire time was you, Miles Edgeworth. This unmistakably makes you the likeliest suspect. Think old country. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down. The likeliest suspect, Francesca. Do you have a problem with that? No, but it's not like you to use such vague wording. You're usually a bit more absolute. I'm simply trying to watch out for you. Or is my kindness too hard for you to comprehend? Thank you, but your leniency is unnecessary, for I will prove my innocence soon enough. If I want to continue my investigation, I have to break her line of logic fast. Hold it! Do you think you're being a bit rash by simply declaring me the culprit? I like my affairs to be simple and perfect. I'll show you the meaning of both when I finish this whole thing within 3 minutes. Hey, you say that like you're cooking a pack of instant noodles. Ow! I won't allow even 3 seconds of useless testimony to be uttered in my presence. I see, she hasn't changed a bit. But I won't allow her to send me to prison so easily. Hold it! So tell me, Francesca, do you know all there is to know about the crime scene? I know all that I need to know in order to arrest you. And nothing more? Are you saying there is more I need to know? Ow! Why'd you whip me, sir? Sorry, Scruffy. My hand must have slipped. It would appear that Francesca doesn't have all the facts of this case yet. Hold it! What do you mean by scene? Please stop pretending like you don't know. It's insulting. Obviously, I'm talking about Mr. Hicks was seen calling for an attendant at 5 a.m. And then from the time after that I called until the body was found. Hold it! While it's true that I was in the lounge the whole time, the fact alone does not make me the criminal.
Objection!
We'll see about that at the conclusion of this investigation. However, there is one thing that even you must admit at this time. Under the circumstances, I suppose I can agree that I am the most likely suspect. But I believe in you, sir. I don't think you did it. Miss Von Karma's gotta believe that too, right? I mean, you two are like siblings. Quiet, Scruffy. Even if we were related by blood, that's no guarantee that he's not a criminal. Francesca, I demand to see some proof that you are not the guilty party. It would appear that you did not have all the information you needed after all. And what does that mean? I found a nice piece of evidence just before I was forced to stop investigating. A piece that proves that the body was moved from a different location. The killer used this suitcase to move the victim's body, meaning that the real scene of the crime is not this lounge at all.
Objection!
Now, who's the one rashly jumping to conclusions? Excuse me? All you did was find a piece of cloth inside this suitcase. That doesn't prove that the body was moved. It could be that the killer simply chose that suitcase as a good place to hide the cloth. I expected you would come to that conclusion. It would seem that I can't escape that easily. You should know better than that. If Okrama is perfect in every way. But did you know that the killer definitely wheeled the suitcase around at some point?
Objection!
As if there is proof of that. But there's proof that this case was moved around.
Take that!
The spilled grape juice in front of the elevator? Yes, and I'd like to draw your attention to this area here, where is evidence that proves that the killer dragged the suitcase through here.
Take that!
This mark here, wouldn't you say that it looks suspiciously like tracks on two wheels? I suppose. Further, there is also grape juice residue on the wheels of the suitcase. This means that the suitcase containing the victim's body definitely passed through here. I suppose that means that the killer did move the victim's body from somewhere else. I'm glad you've come to your senses.
Objection!
Not so fast. This still doesn't put you in the clear, not by a long shot. You prepared yourself and acquired the piggy bank before the plane hit that turbulence. And then you waited for the victim in the lounge where you beat him to death. Then while you were in the elevator with the victim's body stuffed into the suitcase, the plane hit that patch of turbulence and out flew the body from within the suitcase. With no way out, you hastily put the suitcase back where you had taken it from, and pretended to be the discoverer of the body. Not a bad bit of logic for something you thought of on the fly. Just what are you insinuating? That I will show you exactly how flawed your logic is. No matter how strong of the face you put it on, not even you can hide your fears from me. I'll expose the flaws in your logic. I'll expose the flaws in her logic in one fell swoop. Cheryl swoops.
Hold it!
How do you suppose I was able to take the piggy bank out of the display case? As I recall, the case was locked. That's easy. If the case was locked, you simply had to hit the glass, like this. You shattered my heart of glass! So she wants to talk about the in-flight shop and the Captain Ugo bank, does she? That takes care of how you obtained the murder weapon.
Hold it!
I thought there wasn't any of the victim's blood found in the lounge. Huh, I thought you would say that. What, did you think I wouldn't have noticed? I think you just found a way to cleverly hide the blood splatter in the lounge by accidentally spilling grape juice on top of it. Yeah, are you accusing me of tampering with the crime scene now? We'll see, won't we? The forensic scientists are hard at work on that as we speak. And what do you propose I did after that?
Hold it!
So I put the victim's body into the suitcase, and then, where was I headed, Franziska? That's pretty obvious. You were bringing it to the first class where you could safely keep an eye on it. We're talking about this thing, you know. I hardly call it a discreet or ordinary. Huh, annoying brat. Well then, you were intending to leave it inside the elevator. But unfortunately for you, a wrench was thrown into your plans because...
Hold it!
You've expected turbulence on a flight before? You experienced turbulence on a flight before? Of course, many times. You get used to it after a while. The patch we hit was especially rough, and I passed out briefly, but only for a second. Good thing it was only for a sec, sir. I'd be bad if it had really blanked out. Yes, indeed. Unfortunately, blanking out is exactly what got me into this mess in the first place. That's enough of your idle chatter. I'm not through with you yet, Miles Edgeworth.
Hold it!
If I really were a criminal, do you really think I'd be so easily caught?
Objection!
You are certainly in the middle of being caught right now. I have to find a contradiction fast or I won't have much of my own hide left to save. I have to say, you are looking rather caught right now. And I'll tell you exactly what you did after that. You loitered around in the lounge.
Hold it!
I didn't pretend to be anything. I really was the first to discover the victim's body. I suppose that's true. So then you are yielding to my statements? Don't be foolish. I still insist that you are the killer, but In that case, in that sense, you really were the first to discover the body to be dead. No matter what I say, she seems dead set on making me out to be the killer. The logic is reasonably sound, and the large majority of it reflects the truth. But there is one point about it that is not quite right.
Objection!
The fact that you took this piece of evidence into account in your testimony is to be commended. Your legal prowess is certainly something to be feared. Evidence and logic, essential tools that those who would stand in a courtroom must learn to master. But what if there was a fake piece of evidence thrown into the mix? A fake? This Captain Ugo piggy bank is just such a fake. It is not the real murder weapon. What? The timing of when the bank was stolen from the shop is important, and it was taken after the turbulence had occurred. But then, what about the blood on the bank? What do you make of that? I assume it was added after the murder when the killer fabricated this weapon. Looking at it this way, the killer basically did three things after the turbulence. After exiting the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase to the shop and left it there. Then the killer proceeded to pick the bank up off the floor, and then took it to fabricate a fake murder weapon by hitting the victim on the head. Finally, the victim's wallet was planted on my personage in my pocket, to be precise. Everything was done so that I would be framed for the murder of Mr. Acme Hicks.
Hot damn! Title of your sex tape, nailed it.
You there? Yes, ma'am. Other than this piggy bank, was anything else resembling a murder weapon found? We didn't find anything in this lounge or in the shop that could be of use. Could be used as one, ma'am. Most of the items that could have been used were broken during the turbulence, and the remaining items all tested negative for any trace of blood. I see. Well, Miles Edgeworth, it appears your stall tactics are at the end, but it's possible that it's just hidden somewhere, sir. If the criminal had wanted to hide the weapon in a safer place, I think the weapon would have been hidden in the same place as the bloody cloth. Exactly where I was thinking. Because the cloth was hidden inside the suitcase, it signals to me that the killer had not prepared a more secure place to hide the evidence. Which means that the real murder weapon is either still on the murderer's personage, or still at the real crime scene. There's one more possibility, and that would be that the piggy bank is in fact the real weapon. But didn't we just... Let me finish! The killer took the bank out from the display case before the turbulence by opening the lock on the display case door. And it was at the time that the glass pane in the door was broken. I say that is a perfectly reasonable line of reasoning, wouldn't you? Let's see, so that means that the killer had the key to the display case. Francesca, the person you're talking about, not so fast, I'm not finished. The person I'm talking about also committed another sin. She tricked the captain and granted you permission to conduct your investigation. Yes, it is a sin of lying. Speaking of which, I recall that you also wish to speak with her. Yes. Very well, permission granted, but only if I can sit in on your interrogation. Do we understand each other? I have no intention of interrogating her, but you are welcome to accompany me if you wish. Miss Tenryu is in the flight attendant's room. Let's move. So you're the one that poked around inside this plane without the captain's permission. Deviating from the flight attendant's manual is very unbecoming on you. What were you hoping to accomplish by doing that? Miss Tenryu. Ah, Mr. Edgeworth, you're here too. Can you please help us and shed some light on why you did what you did? Alright. Why did you lie about receiving the captain's permission like that? Because I didn't think I would be able to get his permission. What do you mean? The captain, he only has ears for Cammy. I spoke with the captain a little earlier myself. He definitely seems to be rather taken with Miss Mia. Yes, and on top of that, I had mistakenly accused Mr. Edgeworth of being the killer. I wanted to make amends. In that case, please allow me to thank you for what you did. Thanks to you, I was able to clear myself of all charges. Really? You were able to prove your innocence? Well, thank goodness. Miss Tenryu, is it? There's one more thing I'd like to ask you. You were in the in-flight shop just before the turbulence, weren't you? Please answer honestly. Yes, I was. And why were you there? Well, Why the sudden hesitation? Francesca seems to have struck a nerve. All I did was go check up on the shop like I always do. You're saying it was for work then? Yes, I'm in charge of the shop, so I have to keep an eye on it. I don't have any reason to go there otherwise. After your visit to the shop, you paid a visit to this room, correct? Yes, I came back to freshen up and adjust my makeup. I'm sorry, but there isn't much else I can tell. Miss Tenryu claims to have no reason other than duty to go to the shop. But is that all there is to it? Maybe I should ask her about that thing.
Take that!
Seeing how the price tag is still on this suitcase, one can only assume it was out on the floor for sale in the shop. And the person who bought the suitcase was...
Take that!
It was you, wasn't it, Miss Tenryu? I hate to say this, but this suitcase that you designed, it hasn't sold very well, has it? You saw how poorly the design that you poured your heart into was selling, and were deeply hurt. That's why you wanted to make it look like it was selling by buying it yourself. Isn't that right? Then the reason you went to the shop and came back here was... I'm sorry. All I really have is my job. I was overjoyed when my design was chosen. I thought that maybe I have finally accomplished something. But the suitcases didn't sell. It's because of the design, isn't it? All because it was... All because it was... It's, as you put it, hideous. I can't say they chose a great place in which to sell them either. We weren't selling a single one, and they were just sitting there collecting dust. I felt so bad seeing them there, day in and out. So I decided to buy one for every flight I worked. You buy one every single time you worked a flight? I see. So in order to keep your resolution, you went and bought one today as well. Yes, and here's my receipt for that purchase. This receipt is clearly timestamped 5:40 a.m. The truth is, there's still a bunch of them left unsold. They're planning to scrap the remaining ones at the end of this flight. Miss Tenryu, where are these other suitcases? They should be all down in the cargo hold. And the suitcase that Killer used could very well have come from the cargo hold. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth? You don't think that the killer used one of my suitcases to... Yes, I do. The killer used one of your beloved suitcases to move the victim's body. How could they? Those suitcases were meant to be faithful partners to our passengers on their trips. That's all I ever wished for them to be. Miss Tenryu, is there any other way to get to the cargo hold other than the elevator? The only other way is just through the door there. The one about security. That door has no special lock installed because just to enter this room, you need a special key card that only crew members have access to. Which means that the culprit is someone who can enter this room, eliminating the passengers and leaving only the crew members as potential suspects. I can't believe it. Yes, Francesca? Going on these wild goose chases, you're a disgrace to the Valkarma name. And what do you mean by that? The suitcase came from the cargo hold. That fact alone tells the whole story. Yes, which is why I said the culprit must be a crew member who used their key card. Miles Edgeworth, you're proposing that the killer rode the elevator from the cargo hold, correct? Yes, that's the only realistic possibility. That other attendant, Miss Meal, I asked her earlier and she's had this to say. Francesca got information out of Miss Meal? In order to make the elevator go down to the cargo hold, a different key card is required. A different one. Yes, and the only person who holds that particular card is you, Miss Rhoda Tenryu, and only you. What? Is that true, Miss Tenryu? Yes, I keep that key card in my locker at all times. Would you please show us that card right now? Yes, hold on. I don't believe it. What's wrong? The key card, it's gone. Very clever. Pretending that your card was stolen when in fact you're just trying to hide it from us. You've really thought this through. Wait, it's not like that. You can tell. You can tell us all about what's going. You can tell us all about what it's like down at the station. Officer, arrest this woman. Yes, ma'am. Mr. Edgeworth. What's wrong? There's disbelief written all over your face. Francesca, I know that you are the lead investigator on this case. However, hold it. Don't even think about wasting any more of my time. You know the rules as well as I do. Evidence speak louder than words. Even if this isn't a courtroom, that basic tenet still applies. I intend to investigate the cargo hold now. What will you do, Miles Edgeworth? I intend to do likewise. All right. That's, good enough for today. All right. That was fun. Oh, I am beat. I've been like 4 games in a row today. My goodness. I will possibly be back tomorrow. Don't hold me to that. Cause I gotta work tomorrow, but I gotta get stuff prepared for the next comic book review and possibly the next TV show review that I got cooking. But yeah, we'll see if I can pop in for anything else. But in any case, I will see you guys later. Take care. Have a great night. It's been fun.